Doon 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 doon. Peak fiction. Doon 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 doon. Let's go. Yo, hold up. I think my mic may have reset. Hold on. Let me make sure. Sound. Oh yeah, this thing reset for sure. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Bro, what is going on? Okay, can y'all hear me? Is my mic going good? Yes, y'all can hear me, dude. Okay, so I think we might be all right. I think we might be all right. Yeah, I think it reset for some reason. Every single time that I've been coming on here lately, the mic keeps resetting. I don't know why. Thank you for letting me know. All right, let's find the camera. Where's the camera? Ladies and gentlemen. Yo, man. We're gonna put it in reverse. Now that I figured this out, I think I'm going to start every single stream like this. We're still in the Domi reverse. You know what I'm saying? We're still in the Domi reverse. Yes, sir. Bro, we're still in the Domi reverse. So as long as we're in the Domi reverse, we've got to... We've got to have this thing. All right, let me go to the real camera. Let me find the real camera. Yeah, dude. Once that setting came on last time, I was like, I'm never taking that off. I've never taken off the Domi Reversi camera. That camera, I literally called it right here. Like it's the second camera available. Oh man. So. Oh, bro, I don't even know where to begin, man. I don't even know where to begin. Bro, this week has been so crazy, man. So crazy. Like, oh, man, dude. So, first and foremost, let me read the supers. Let me read the supers, and then we'll talk about the insanity that's been this week. Let me see. Let me read the supers. I appreciate y'all so much for stopping by. I am unspoiled. I am definitely unspoiled. I have not seen a single thing. I haven't been on a single thing in terms of the homepage. The only thing your boy has been doing is playing Peak Fiction, but we'll talk about that in a second. All right. I told Subra and Bweezy Bird the moment that they told me the spoilers were out, I was like, no problem. I'm already good as is. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing some Peak, and I don't need to look at the homepage. And that's exactly what we've been doing. No homepage, just posting replies. That's it. So we're completely spoiler free. And once again, as usual, a huge thank you to Big Bweezy and Super for keeping your boy unspoiled each and every single week. Let me read through the supers. And then we'll talk about some heat. So our first comment. This is how I know this chapter is going to be peak. Number one. Well, should I say it? I feel like I shouldn't even say it. I don't even want to jinx it. I'm not gonna say it. But if you're watching the stream, you could probably already tell how good it looks. So I'm not gonna jinx it. Shout out to No Longer Being a 144p. So True Roofers comes in and drops in 99 cents. Appreciate you, True Roofers. Anytime True Roofers drops by, I already know it's going to be a roof piece level chapter. Just straight up roof piece levels of Peak. No doubt about that. So I appreciate you so much, True Roofers. As always, the one sponsorship that I would love to have in the future of the series, or in the future of the channel, is undoubtedly and unquestionably True Roofers. So shout out to True for stopping by with $1. All love to True Roofers. Josh Pointer comes in with a 10 and all caps. All caps. You've been going ham. Don't get me started, man. Don't even get me started, man. You've been going ham on the Xenoblade greatness. Boy, have I. Listen, man. I almost didn't stream, bro. I legit almost called for a hiatus. That is how hooked I am on Xenoblade, bro. But Xenoblade has given me so much One Piece, where I can't stop thinking about One Piece while I play through Xenoblade. I've been in a One Piece mood, so I have to read the chapter. I just have to. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't skip out on it. Ali G! Ali G comes in. So not only is Tetsuya Takahashi giving me some gifts, not only is Ichiro Oda apparently about to drop down some gifts, but Ali G comes in and gives 50 flipping memberships to the channel. All love to you, Ali G. And right next to that, I didn't even notice, Black Myth Kage dropped a $50 super chat. I appreciate you, Black Myth Kage, man. Holy sweet mother of Flagnars. All love to the 50s on both sides here, man. Seriously. The God Hand of Finance, you already know what it is, man. You already know what it is. Appreciate you, Ali G. I'm speechless every single week. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how this continues to happen. But I truly appreciate the support that you've shown, not only just the channel, but the individuals in this community. So all love to you, Ali G, seriously. 50 flipping memberships, man. I just clock that into your minds. Just how insane that is, bro. Just how insane that is. So appreciate you, Ali G. Thank you so much. Black Myth Kaga, we'll read your super chat in just a second. Josh Pointer comes in and says, you've been going ham on the Xenoblade greatness. You get to experience that and a new One Piece chapter. Can we get much higher? Also, be prepared for a long stream. This chapter is interesting. You know what's crazy? I don't know if I'm prepared for a long stream. I honestly don't, man. I don't know if I'm ready for anything. I'm not, bro. I'm not. With how much peak I've been experiencing, my soul can only take so much. It can only take so much. Thank you, Josh Pointer. I'll talk about Xenoblade here in a second, man. It's just, God, what a special series. But I appreciate you, Josh Pointer. Thank you so much for that. But then Black Myth Kage comes in with a 50. Sweet mother of Flagners says, get the straw hat, get all the Santa hats, both Jordan jerseys. So not just the red one, the black one too. Vacuum the rug. Oh, that's already too late. Oh no, I think we're good. I think I must have vacuumed it earlier in the week. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good, man. Maybe there's a little specks of dust from this week, but I think we're good. This is actually a pretty clean floor. I know I vacuumed last week. I just don't remember if I did earlier this week. It looks clean to me. It looks clean to me, but you know I have bad eyesight, so who knows? But Black Myth Kage, I appreciate you. I might just have to. I already have the Santa hats right there, and if I gotta go get the jerseys, then I might have to just go get the flipping jerseys. Thank you, Black Myth Kage. I appreciate you for the 50 flipping bomb, man. I appreciate you. Then Frodo Baggage comes in with a 2 and says, might as well throw the hat on now. Well, I mean, if y'all are saying it, we might just have to do it. We might just have to just throw the hat on the jersey and just, it's great. I trust y'all more than I trust anyone, so we might just have to do it. We might just have to do it. Thank you, Frodo Baggage. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. I know it's NBA Finals night. And during NBA Finals night, it'll be rough, especially for the individuals that I know love the game as much as I do. I wanted to watch it as well, but I was like, at the moment I get home, I'm either hopping on Xenoblade and not reading the chapter, or I'm reading the chapter and I'm hopping on Xenoblade. And I was like, I'm gonna read this flipping chapter. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna react to some peak. So I was like, I'm sorry. If tonight's game is an all-timer, I'm going to miss it. And I don't care, because we're reading some One Piece. So, we'll see the highlights after that. But I appreciate everybody who stopped by for this. So, all love. I see a few more right here. Michael Mickles. Shout out to my boy Michael Mickles, man. Comes a membership for 41 months. It says, our reaction in the middle of Game 6 is sick business, bro. It wasn't me. Don't blame me. Blame this. Blame this. Bro, I would have been perfectly fine. 11 o'clock time slot would have been good to do our normal time slot. But bro, it's not me, man. It's that. You gotta blame that. Not me. That. That's what you gotta blame. Don't blame me, man. I would have been good with just the regular schedule. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. It couldn't be done. But Michael Mickles, man, I appreciate you. You know I got nothing but love for you, man. Guys, it's nice to see you and all, but this is pushing it. Yo, I can't. On a serious note, like all jokes aside, I that's why I'm so thankful for everybody who is here. Like all 180 something people that are here. I appreciate y'all for being here because I know it is that type of night. You know, where the NBA finals that are on. Michael Mickles, man, all love to you, bro. Remember you for 41 months. Absolutely insane. Jacob Dabby comes in with a 5. So last time I watched live, we saw the mural, coach. All right. Where's the jersey? Where's the bag? Wait, bro. My man said he hasn't watched this the mural. So if that's the case, we gotta throw it on. I'll take y'all's word for it. We're about to read some Peak. We're about to read some Heat. You know what I'm saying? I'll take y'all's word for it, man. Grateful to be here for this moment of greatness. Over under on Santa hats 2.5. The parlay on Santa hats is crazy. Over under on Santa hats is 2.5, man. Hey, hold up. We can actually let me pull that up as a poll. Over under on Santa hats. What's the over-under on Santa hats? I just posted the poll. Shout out to Jacob Dabby. What's the over-under, man? Are y'all looking at 1, 2.5, 3? Oh, man. Flipping greatness, dude. The current over-under. It's looking like I think Jacob Dabby might have been right. We're looking at a clean 2 to 3 spread right here. So it's looking like a 2.5. It's looking like a 2.5. Yo, the over-under, 63% on 3 is insane, man. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. Yo, Jacob Dabby, all love to you. All love to you. Thank you so much for that and for the idea there for the over-under. Appreciate you for the super. Then, I was about to say Louis Arno. Louis named Amarat comes in with a 5 and says, long-time listener, first-time chatter. Chapter feels like 2 bangers in 1. 2 bangers in 1? That's how you know. 2? Enjoyed and thanks for the content. Bring out the jersey and the Santa hat. We already got the Santa hat. We got the jersey. We're ready. We are ready, yo. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you. I appreciate Louis Amaran. I appreciate you. Now, let me go ahead and I'm gonna put up the poll for reading the title. And while I do that, we're going to talk about this week. And all love to everybody in chat today. Shout out to y'all, man. So much love for y'all. Actually, let me go ahead and see what the current roll is up here. So right now we're looking at Tetsuya D. Sol, I believe that is, at number 1 in the leaderboard. And then we got Fertile Baggage number 2. Gabriel, it won't let me see the rest of it, but Gabriel number 3. Komore Biku number 4. Vortex, shout out to Vortex number 5. Then we got Brandon King 6. Rain Salim 7. Fruit Punch Man 8. James Fish Music 9. Lazy Mofos 10. Shout out to the squad, man. And that is what we're looking at for the top 10 right now. So, before we get into this chapter, just in case y'all do not follow me on Twitter. So, last week, this is why there hasn't been any videos. No top 5 or top 10 of the week. No One Piece anime reaction. Everything got thrown to the wayside. Bro, man. So, the last video I put out was a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 review. And that game was so unbelievably special. I was talking about it with AJ in the last podcast of how much I was enjoying it. Just thanking him for pushing me to play the franchise. And so I finished the first game. And like I said, the first game right next to Xenogears is like a top 10 game for me. Right? I love Xenoblade 1, man. It was so good. But then I started playing the second one, man. Bro, I don't know what the second game has, bro. But from the moment that I pressed start on that junk, I haven't been able to stop, man. It's crazy. It's only like a few times that I've ever been this hooked on a game. Because normally, I will take my hiatuses to play games. But I can still, like, take my breaks pretty easily, right? Like, I'll be like, yeah, I gotta do my work, I gotta do my thing, right? Like, I can do that. But there's just certain times where I can't, and this is one of those times, bro. This game has me by, like, every single possible measure. I can't stop, man. It's insane. And so, this entire week, I haven't been able to stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop sharing it. And like I said, the worst part about this entire thing, because it's just a beautiful situation. I love this flipping game. But the awesome part about it is, because of all the One Piece stuff that just emanates from this game, I'm in a massive One Piece mood. So I am ready. So much so. Yo, in the content that I covered in today, before I had to stop for a very prolonged period of time, I saw a mural in the game, a mural from 1500 years ago, and I was like, bro, is this One Piece? Like, yeah, there's all stuff like that where I'm like, man, the it's not references, but it just reminds me of the greatness. And so it's just a game that's really speaking to your boy, man. I'm loving it, obviously. If you want to follow my updates on that, just either follow me over on Twitter, or whenever I release the YouTube video, I'll probably put a compilation of all that stuff in there. But it's been such a special experience, man. And like I said, any other thing, if it wasn't for One Piece, I would not be here. But we're here today for the best-selling manga in history. We are here today for chapter 1152 in an arc that is following up the Egghead greatness, in an arc that has the giants of legend, in an arc that we've been waiting for so many years, in an arc that gave us Shamrock dropping down and arriving in the very same arc as Instant Messenger Sama also being here in the flesh. So it's like, bro, it's such an unpredictable arc with so much greatness has been given to us so far, from the mural to those amazing character interaction chapters, to the thematic chapters, to the emotional chapters, and recently the insanely hyped chapters. I can't wait to see what is going to follow up the Emu stretch of chapters with chapter 1152 of the best-selling manga in history. I don't know if y'all saw it, but the Lakers are about to sell their organization for $10 billion. $10 billion. And they're about to sell it to, I believe it's the Dodgers owner. So we might get even more One Piece collabs. So we're going to bring even more money, more cash, more eyes on the product. And eventually, slowly but surely, we will be the #1 best-selling comic of all time. And I hope to be here for that, man. Because we are here today to read the latest installment in that Elbaf greatness. In the one, the only... hold on, let me get some water before I say this, bro. This is about to be a big one. This is about to be a big one. Hold on. One on a serious note, man. You gotta play some flippin' Xenoblade, dude. Let's go, y'all. I'm ready, man. Hold up. Let me get the thing ready. Oh man, dude. You feel me, Josh Pointer? Like, yo, that's just the thing, man. That's just the thing. Okay, let's go. Dude, good to go. Stream's still running. Just got to make sure before we get invested here. Because if this is one of those chapters, then, man, who knows when's the last time I might be able to get a chance to look at the camera. So, let me pull this over here. And let's go ahead and start reading this thing, man. Are we reading the title? 92% yes. Perfect. Let's go. Hollow-sama comes in with a 5 and says, this chapter, oh baby. This chapter hits different. Enjoy this one, bro. Appreciate you, Hollow-sama. Thank you so much for stopping by today and delivering a $5 super. Definitely. Oh, hold on. I got something to show y'all. Dude. So in while it loads, I'll put up the chapter. But I gotta show y'all what I had over in One Piece Treasure Cruise. Hold on, let me go over to TCB. Let's go, man. Okay, gonna have that pulled up. Alright, y'all. Let me leave this right here. Let me use the restroom real quick. Because if we're gonna be here for a while, then we ain't taking no breaks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me let Treasure Cruise load real quick. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Alright. Now. Bro, I want y'all to see this, man. So, first and foremost, I have been wanting this particular unit for a very long time. Ever since they first announced and released this unit, I have been looking forward to getting it. I finally pulled the Gear 5 unit. Let me see. I finally got the Gear 5 unit that has like all the gears on the side. Let's see if I can. I'll be lighting up too much. But regardless, it's y'all know what unit. If you play Treasure Cruise, y'all know what unit it is. But it's just, yeah. See, you see it right there, bro. Look at that, bro. He's going through all the gears. Gear 4, Snake Man, and he pops like, bro. Look at this. Look how sick that animation is, man. It's so sick. So I finally pulled that, and then between the Roger and Rox unit, your boy got the Rox unit, man. Whitebeard, Shiki, Big Mom, Gloriosa. Bro, hold on, man. I'd want y'all to at the very least be able to look at that, bro. Look at the Whitebeard greatness. Come on, man. Prime Beard. And so I was so happy to finally be able to pull that. Or to pull the Gear 5 unit and then pull this like directly after. And I was like, let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? I was so happy. The transforming STR G5 Luffy, Brandon King. I was so happy. I was like, let's go, dude. Let's go. Robert says, hey, found you through Xenoblade 2 tweets. Since it's my favorite game, I'm a massive One Piece fan too, so I'm happy to see you react. Yo! You understand then. I real deal think there is a connection between being a Xenoblade 2 fan and a One Piece fan. I mean, it just feels right. It feels right. It feels right, dude. But appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly, truly appreciate you. Now, let's go ahead and see what this chapter is in store for us. Chapter 1152, An Awful Day. Well, I can tell you that's not something we're going to have today. And it very well could have been that, man. There was thunder and lightning. It was raining so hard earlier, man. It was crazy. But it stopped. It stopped to the point where we're able to react to this chapter here right now. So, let me pull up the thing here real quick. Man, exciting stuff. So, chapter 1152, An Awful Day. And we got Tama. Look at Kawamatsu, the Kappa, man. So we got Yamato, Kawamatsu, Ulti, Pepe. Let's go. Tama, who made the straw hat for Kawamatsu. Beautiful stuff. Only Child Yamato. Hey, relax with the ads. Relax with the ads. Alright, we're good. No, I don't want to meet other sneaker enthusiasts. That kind of got me so off guard. Want to date people who are also sneaker enthusiasts. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but not in the middle of reading Peak. You know what I'm saying? Oni Child Yamato in the Holy Naru Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 36. Delivery complete. Kawamatsu Daimyo of Hakumai receives Otama's hat. The notes. Bread is too delicious. Is he law now? I remember when the law gag for like him eating bread came out, bro. I was like, why does this man have this gag? And now we know it's because Oda loves bread. Caldi's toast, spreads, and lunch packs are so good. Caldi's? It's honestly becoming a problem. I've never heard of Caldi's. But I appreciate you, Rosie. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you for following the journey. It's been a crazy, crazy journey for the Xenoblade greatness. And Law could never. He truly, truly could never. You know what I'm saying? According to Law, that's blasphemous. That is extremely. You know, it's super agreed. Bread is goated. Bread is goated. Oda's a troll, man. Let's hurry to the lift. Where's my hat? Where's the flippin' hat, dude? I almost forgot where we left off. They left off on the Conqueror's Hockey that Luffy felt. And he was like, hold on, man. Let's hurry to the lift. Gird, we'll leave this sack of filth in your care. Got it. Be careful. I shall dedicate all my might to this. Gird Tasso. Look at this panel. So it shows the ship and then the chains that are, of course, on the ship. But I love the way that it's like showing both the bottom and the... Like, just the presentation of this entire thing, it just looks so cool to me. It just looks so cool to me. I shall dedicate all my might to this Gird Tasso. Hodgerdine, move it. Let's get going. I believe that's Goldberg coming in on the left. Shout out to Goldberg, by the way. Flipping coming back on Monday, which was nuts. Oh, man. I believe it's going to be the final match, too. Be careful. I'd better stay too, Luffy. Yasan's wounds are too severe. We can't move him yet. Poor Gabon, man. Got it. I'll leave it to you. Hey, Straw Hat Luffy. Oh, man. What is he about to tell him? Be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's Hockey? Be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's Hockey? Oda, you should be the one mindful of the way you use Conqueror's Hockey. Mindful of the way that Luffy uses Conqueror's Hockey? These guys are by no means immortal. So is that the clue? The clue really was Conquerors? Because we've been speculating for the last couple of weeks, right? On what potentially could be the thing that stops them from regenerating. And especially after the Gabon strike, we're like, is it truly Conqueror's coding? But if that's the case, how are we going to do it? Because be mindful of the way you use Conqueror's Hockey. Those guys are by no means immortal. Thanks, you can count on me. Oh, Luffy's got both of the hands up like back when he fought Crocodile. I'll never forget that panel. I'll save Colin and his friends no matter what. You heard my dog. Gabon just made it click for me. Loki. I wasn't able to put it into words before. My own power. I'm the only one left who's faced these nights before. I'm the only one left who's faced these nights before. And obviously he's implying what happened earlier in the arc when he was boxing Shamrock and Gunko and took on the Cerberus Blade. But I just... What Gabon said about Conqueror's Hockey made this particular thing click for him? Free me and take me with you, Hadradin. So Loki knows that he can beat them, according to this line. I know I can beat them. So Loki knows that he can beat them. So, number one, obviously, he wants to be freed. But something clicked in his mind, based on a previous encounter, and on his ability, that now he knows he can beat them. What is it, Loki? Talk to me, bro. Talk to me. Are you fighting for Elbaf? And he's holding that massive axe. Bro, look at Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji in the bottom right, man. That's my monster trio. Like I'd ever take you with us. There's another in your group who uses Conqueror's Hockey. You better believe it. You already know who it is. This man Sanji said, is it me? Am I the one? Man, we already know who it is, bro. We saw my man boxing Kaido and King. I know, I knew it. Without things were going, Mosted and Jinbei were about to usurp me. Zoro brings up the ... the dragon. You there, swordsman. Your body seems to be growing accustomed to it. Your body seems to be growing accustomed to it. Accustomed to conquerors? I have Conqueror's Hockey? This man's so... Only Zoro, right? Only Zoro would injure Kaido, box King, utilize conquers and be like, what? I don't have that. But it's just true. It's true, right? Like, in his mind, he was just giving it all he had against Kaido. Ashura went in. He didn't hear when Kaido was like, oh boy, like, you're out here rocking same thing we got, And then, of course, King talking about, the will of the conquer and what it means to be king. So Zoro was just like, I'm him. Zoro until this point was like, I injured Kaido. I was about to take off Big Mom's head, and I was boxing King. No conquers. Taking on Gorosei. No conquers. No conquers, man. He was like, I'm him. Of course he got conquers, bro. Yo, man. Shout out to Luffy and Zoro. Luffy and Zoro are both the same exact way in regards to this stuff. And they just, every time there's some sort of like, what? I don't have that. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just him. Man, I didn't know I had that. What? You didn't know? It's been oozing off you. My boy Luffy. You know what that reminds me of? When we were on Whitebeard's ship, and the Whitebeard's crew members were talking to Shanks, and they were like, dude, Shanks, you've been oozing Conqueror's Haki. Like, put that thing away. Put it away, man. You feel me? Like, dude, you're causing all these guys to knock out. Zoro, it's been oozing off Zoro for God knows how long. Picked up by his enemies, picked up by Luffy. It's like, bro, you've had this whole time. How did you not know? I love that, though. Because it's classic. It's classic Luffy and Zoro. Classic Luffy and Zoro. Always having it, right? And being able to potentially awaken it and or just have it, but they don't even know they have it. How absurd. Haki is a power that must be understood and tamed. That's interesting, going back to the conversation that Luffy had with Rayleigh in regards to Haki, both observation and conquers. I always think back to the conversation that was in the anime. Of course, I think that was an anime-only sequence. But whenever we saw like his training on Ruskaina. But being understood and tamed is fascinating, because we think back to the beginning of the time skip, when Luffy utilized... We knew Luffy had a mastery in so much shape or form over conquerors when he was able to tame the beasts. Right, like, well, he was on the island, not only did he tame the beasts, but he also befriended them. But when we got to Fishman Island, one of the first major things before we even saw Luffy use the 50,000... The Conqueror's Haki Blast then took out 50,000 fishmen, was whenever he was taming all of the animals and be like, yo, relax. Like, take it easy. That's how we knew that there was something different about him, similar to what happened with Shanks right in Chapter 1. So, understood and tamed. So the key idea is understood. Haki as a concept, as an idea, needs to be understood and tamed in order to reach its maximum potential. Is that what I'm getting at here? Your captain is one of the 4 emperors. You should be meticulous if you intend to have his back. Okay, Gabon. And Zoro's like, my bad, B. Zoro's like, my bad, homie. Your captain is one of the 4 emperors. You should be meticulous if you intend to have his back. So this is going to be Zoro's power-up in this arc, is understanding his Conqueror's Haki and taming it. I mean, the brother's already a monster. Could you imagine? It also reminds me of back in Bleach, when Ichigo never controlled Zangetsu, right? So it was just, I remember like Shinji and all the characters, they'd be like, man, like, you're constantly just oozing spiritual pressure. And he just didn't control it for a very long time. Because he was just naturally that guy, right? And just felt like he didn't need to close his spiritual pressure. In a similar way, Zoro, not knowing about this, has just been unleashing this conquerors. It would have been hilarious to have Zoro like in a scene where he's just like walking and dude's just passing out. And it's like, yo, relax, guy. Relax. But that is a cool way of introducing what Zoro's power up is going to be in this arc, which is understanding and taming his Conqueror's Haki, and through that reaching that next level. Hey, old man, what about me? But Sanji's stressing. Well, listen, Sanji, bro. If Gabon's got it, you gotta have it, man. You gotta have it. Hajruddin, you're pathetic. We're gonna sit back and let these outsiders save our homeland? Loki's looking at it from a point of pride. Like, man, are we really going to let these individuals that don't even live here fight on our behalf? Like, we gotta protect our family. We gotta protect our land. This is our homeland, and it's being overrun by all these flagnards. We gotta go do our thing, man. And so, Loki's like, why in the world would you leave it up to them? I'm him. Do you know who I am? I'm Loki. And so, I understand. He's like, I'm right here. Use me. Like, come on, man. I see where he's coming from. I really do. I truly do understand where he's coming from. Lazy Mofo says, I'm gonna be mad toxic after this chapter. Yo, I know you are, Lazy Mofo. I already know you are, man. No doubt. No doubt. I'm right here, use me. So we got Sanji. Oh, we don't hear the conversation. Don't tell me Oda doesn't let us hear the conversation. Because we just stick with Hajruddin. So we got, hey old man, what about me? Gabon looks at him. We continue with Loki and Hajruddin, but we look back at Sanji. Sanji's talking, but we have no... Oh. He's gonna say yes, bro. He's gonna say yes. And you know what that means? Do you know what that means? That means we're gonna be rocking Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. Conquers tamed. Tamed conquers, man. Are you kidding me? I don't know when it happens, but I'll be there no matter what. I hope that's what that means. I hope that's what that means, man. I will be there no matter what, bro. What? Sanji, Ifrit, Jambe, and conquers? Stop playing with the Straw Hats. I don't care. We could fight Emu. We could fight Blackbeard. We could fight... I don't care. I do not care, man. Bring them all on. Monster Trio? Conquers coding? Tamed? I don't care who it is. I don't care. I saw everything Emu's been doing right now. He ain't boxing the Monster Trio. You know what I'm saying? So, but on a serious note, I'm hoping that's what this scene is leading towards. And maybe later on this chapter we'll see some sort of follow up to this. But man, let's hope that's what that's implied. Who's to say you won't side with the government? You could easily stab Elbaf in the back again. We made that Loki flashback, bro. Just like you did on that day. How can you expect me to trust you? So he sided with the WG on that day? Who's to say you won't side with the government? You could easily stab Elbaf in the back again. Oh, or is it specifically talking about stabbing Elbaf in the back like he did on I'm assuming the day with the King Harold situation? How can you expect me to trust you? And it's like in that regard, you really can't. You can't disregard what Hajruddin is saying either, because Hajruddin's looking at it, brother. If you already did it once, you're gonna do it again. If I let you free, you're going to do it again. And that's why I really want the full scope of the Loki flashback, because after all this Domi Reversey stuff and everything, we've always speculating what truly happened with the Herald situation. That's fascinating, man. So it's just a stabbing part. Thank you, Vortex. So it's just a stabbing part, not siding with WG. So you could easily stab Elbaf in the back again, like you did on that day. Hadruddin, hurry, we can't let the casualties pile up anymore. Hey, Loki. Luffy, bro, free him. Luffy, dog, you have Kingdom Hearts, bro. You have the key. You got the Kingdom Key, man. Free him. Hashtag free Loki, bro. We've been waiting. I've been waiting. Add him to the party, man. Add that man to the party. Come on, dude. You want to talk about a 5-star? You want to talk about gacha pulls? You can't get a better gacha pull than flipping Loki. Free him. Free my boy, bro. Come on, man. Oh, no. Yo, I'm going back to what I said. Hold on. Oh, man, I haven't done one of these in a while. Hold on. Where's my Sharpie? Where's my Sharpie? Hold on, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing back the coaches cam. Hold up, man. We gotta bring it back for this, brother. Hold up, dude. Where in the world is it? Alright, y'all. Now, what we just saw in 4K display is my point guard, the star guard, the greatest of all time, still playing. He went out there and was like, yo, wait a minute. If in the final battle, we're fighting Big Emu, remember, Emu's still final boss. Going in, or Blackbeard, I don't care which side of the coin you're on. Regardless, we gotta box someone. So he's like, wait a minute, I just felt that conquers hockey. That put shivers into my spine. So he was like, wait a minute. If we've gotta fight him, then we got me, right? Monkey D. We got Big Z. Well, my boy Zoro. We got Big S with Sanji. Oh, we're seeing that the rest of the squad at this point in time, until we start leveling up, is getting bodied by said Emu. So it's like, wait a minute, man. We've got to add another piece to the puzzle. So what does the big Monkey D do? He goes out, and like any 5-star recruiter would do, he goes over, and he goes right into the recruitment camps. And he's like, man, I got the best recruitment camp in the business. And he goes over, and right in the bottom corner, he's gonna find him the greatest possible recruit in the history of this entire team. When we finish with this, hold on, bro, I don't think y'all listen. Where's my tie? Where's my tie? Hold on, bro, hold on. I don't think you're all listening right now, man. Hold on, dude. We gotta put on the tie. Now listen. Here's the thing. If we got my boy joining, then this dude taking on all this Conqueror's team, get out. my team is superior. My team is out here. And you know what that tells me? The mural was talking about past, present, and future. No doubt. Oh my god. We got Loki. Bro, I genuinely felt goosebumps. The same goosebumps that I felt back when Luffy told other characters to join the crew. And the craziest part about it is, we haven't had a character join the crew in so long. Right, like of course Jinbei was officially offered to join back in Fisherman Island and officially joined in Wano, right? But I'm talking about a brand new addition that we met in that said arc that potentially joins at the end. Now it's going to be looming over our heads. Does Loki actually end up joining? Do you know how crazy that is? Loki join my crew. If he does, then you can't complain if I free him, right? Hold on, let me check out the coach's cam. Let me get my glasses real quick. Listen, man. If he does, then you can't complain if I free him, right? Huh? Get real, Luffy. There's no way we'd fit him on the ship. That's what Zoro's thinking of. Yeah, think of the food supplies. He eats even more than you do. But you know something, bro. Before we continue, I just have to talk about Luffy's willingness to be like, you know something, man? You and I may not see eye to eye. But by the sweet mother of Flagnards, if it means freeing you and saving the people of Elbaf, join my crew. If that's what it's going to have to take to free you, Hadrudin, let's go. And it fits so in line with Luffy's character, who's always been about actions before consequences. Actions before dealing with any type of thing. But what's going to make it even more emotional is if Luffy and Loki actually do end up having a standoff at some point in time within this arc because of the Domi Reversi. And he's already considered in Luffy's heart a Straw Hat because he's fighting one of his people. He's fighting one of his Nakama. It's going to add an extra level of emotional weight if that actually ends up happening. I love this from the King, obviously. And I love this for us as fans if Loki actually ends up joining the crew, man. Elbaf doesn't seem to want him, but he seems okay to me. Besides, if he tries anything, I can always beat him up. That's it. That's it, man. If Elbaf doesn't want him, we'll take him. He's alright to me. And if anything happens, I'm boxing him. It's as simple as that. That is, bro, that's Yonko energy. That is what Whitebeard told Ace. Go ahead and try to kill me, bro. Go ahead and try. Try it. Try it, man. Loki's like, don't mess with me, you runt. There's no way I'm becoming your underling. You're going off your gut, huh, Straw Hat? I can't wait to see how he fights. I love Luffy, bro. This man, he just like me. Hey, bro, me too. All of us. All we want to see is how the man fights. We just want to see it, man. That's all we want to see. Like, I can always beat him, bro. I can always beat him. He don't want to see me. Vexio, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the 5 memberships, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Vex, man. All love to you. Hadrudin, what are you doing? The lift's ready to go. I'm coming now. Sorry, Straw Hat, Loki's a condemned criminal in Elbaf. I can't just hand him over to you. Really? Hadrudin, release Loki. Come on, man. Yo, if this is the Loki release chapter, bro. Hadrudin, release Loki. What was that, Yasun? 14 years ago, Loki murdered 113 members of the Castle Guard. He left Elder Jarl at the brink of death. Killed his own father in cold blood. He's the worst criminal in our country's ever known. Yo, there's gotta be more to this story. 113 members is nuts. 113 members left Elder Jarl at the brink of death. killed his own pops in cold blood. But because of the Domi Reversi thing, I'm very. My assumption is, 14 years ago, Imu used Domi Reversi. Loki had to do what he might have to encounter here once again, is go over and see his friends and his comrades being turned over, flipped on the board to the other side, and had to go in and take them all out. So he went in and potentially killed all the individuals under the Domi Reversi, all 113 of them. Same thing with his pops. Went in, had to take them out. And in order to save them from potentially hurting those that they love. Right? From doing things that they would wake up out of that Domi Reversi and be like, oh my goodness, what have I done? Loki didn't, I'm going to assume, didn't want them to go through that. Right? As we talked about when the Domi Reversi concept was first introduced. I'm still going to go with that. Or something else is going to happen in that flashback. I know, but on that day I felt a strange emanation of hockey coming from the Quest Castle. Shanks and... You can't name drop the GOAT like that, bro. Shanks and I went there to investigate looking back. So Shanks and Gabon were there? I mean, Gabon being there makes sense, but Shanks? On that day, I felt a strange emanation of hockey coming from Quest Castle. Shanks and I went there to investigate. Looking back, it's possible we didn't have the whole story. So that means on that day, the Domi Reversi thing happened, right, y'all? The Domi Reversi thing must have happened. Shanks was there! What in the world happened? Look, yo, Loki's flashback is about to be the pinnacle of the medium, bro. I know, but on that day I felt a strange emanation of hockey coming from Quest Castle. And I'm assuming that it's the same thing that's happening with Domi Reversi. Or something similar. Shanks and I went there to investigate looking back. It's possible we didn't have the whole story. You went to the castle? What the? Wait, did you just say Shanks? Luffy's like, wait a minute, go! Stanson, I'm sorry, go ahead without me. Zoro, Sanji, I'll catch up in a bit. Oh, hey, you brought up Shanks. My boy Luffy's like, hold up, man. We gotta tighten up. You know? This dumb Shanks thing again. Zoro's like, here we go, man. It's the flipping Shanks thing. Hey, don't call Shanks dumb. No, Luffy's about to box that man. He means you're the dumb one. Oh, that's great. That's just great. I love... Because Luffy's like, if I gotta continue something that Shanks did, I gotta do it. Like, I have to do it. And there, what I'm hoping comes out of the situation, because this entire arc has been, what we're seeing is how much Shanks means to Luffy. And outside of all the potential death flags that could potentially come out of for something that happens at some other point in the series, I think what it's also going to lead towards is a weighing comparison between how much Rocks meant to Loki and how much Shanks means to Luffy. Because obviously, that is the comparison, right? And the parallel between the two characters. Because those two mean more to them than anything. And so, I'm going to assume Loki's going to see that within Luffy, and Luffy's going to see that within Loki. Two very similar individuals who started on this journey because of these great pirates. These great individuals. Gabon. You have 3 minutes to explain, Loki. Tell me what happened in the castle 14 years ago. Flashback! If you truly consider yourself a warrior of Elbaf, swear on our gods that what you say is the truth. Oh man. Flashback time? That's cruel, brother. You really want me to relive that day? Gerd, Zoro and Sanji? I don't want to remember. It was an awful day. Are we transitioning? Look up in the sky. 14 years ago, let's live again. Let's go. Oh man. 14 years to go. Oh, y'all been waiting for this, man. Doga! Whoa! It's Loki. Prince Loki has returned. Elbaf Quest Castle. Elder Jarl just arrived too. Look at Look at Loki with the flippin' hammer. This man's got the hammer from Super Smash Brothers, bro. He summoned you too, Loki? Something like that. This is my family's home, you know. You seem well, old man. You haven't grown sick of life yet? Quiet, you. The king is in the audience chamber. It's happening. It's flipping happening. I gotta put on a second Santa hat for this, bro. Hold on. Hold on, man. The king is in the audience chamber. I wonder what he wants. It's hard to care about the whims of a government dog. My guy Loki, bro. I've been waiting for this. He sold out to the people who killed... He sold out to the people who killed Rocks? That was the entire... And I was just talking about the arc potentially being revolved around that idea. About Luffy, Shanks, and Loki, and Rocks. So that was the whole reason why he was opposing the king. Because he sold out, in his estimation, to the people who killed Rocks. If that's the direction Elbaf's heading in, then I'll oppose it. You're being loud. I'm too old for this stuff. Politics is a young man's game. Oh, man. Yeah, Rock's death confirmed. We're in this mess because you keep spouting that kind of nonsense. Now we've got a whole generation of peace-addled brats who can't even hold a weapon. That's just a sign of the times. It's nice to know that my great-great-grandchild won't see combat. They want peace. Coward, it's your duty to whip them into shape. I love the way this castle is framed here. What's that sound? It's coming from the throne room. Thank you for coming, Elder Jarl. Loki, I mean, young master. It's a pleasure to have you back. Of course. Well, let me just consult with the king. He summoned me and this is my home. Open up, idiot. Young Master Violences goes in. Old man, I'm back. It's Domi reversing. It's Domi reverse. Bro, you can't tell me that's not Domi reversing. Look at him. Oh, wait, no, he's getting stabbed. What the flip? He's getting stabbed not by Loki, but by the other individuals in this room. So he's covered in this like black inked shadow. Very reminiscent to that of like Domi Reversi. But is still being stabbed. Harold, what the hell are you all doing? Man, dude. Even if Loki was like opposing his pops, this must have crushed his soul, bro. So did he murk all these dudes because of this? And then he took the blame for it? Oh man, I don't know anymore. This whole time, I thought he was the one that took out Harold. the guards have demon horns and are stabbing him? They do have... Oh, that's even more heartbreaking. They were the ones who were Domi reversing. And we all thought it was Harold who... Oh, man. That's heartbreaking. For a king, if King Harold was a true individual who loved his people, then he must have taken it. He must have taken it. Oh, that's heartbreaking, dude. So it wasn't Harold that was the reversing, it was the rest. Dang, man. And it's like, bro, you gotta feel so bad for Loki, man. Like, so unbelievably bad for Loki. Realm of the Sun, Gyaban's house. What a staggering view. This is the best. Right? Look at my wound! Loki, Harold, I'll come back to the tragic situation in a second. I gotta hype for my boy. Yo! Gabon and Shanks. Is that the mark? Were we cooking? Were we cooking when we said that Shanks got rid of the arm? Because it had the mark on it? Were we cooking? Ah! No! Dude! Yo, man. Romance Dawn, Chapter 1, the moment that Shanks gets his arm bitten off and gives Luffy the straw hat, that's gonna have like 40 trillions of tons of more weight on it. Are you kidding me? Luffy freed Shanks. The first person he freed in the series from the worst possible thing was the person he looked up to the most. Oh, man. When we thought it was just a theory, it was like, okay, the possibility, Oda breaks ankles, you never know. That looks like it to me. Bro, you already know they're gonna cook so hard with the Yoshida Shoyo Gintoki-esque. When Shoyo, in the Gintoki flashback, was like, man, did I pick Gintoki up, or did he pick me up? Like you're gonna have the moment with Shanks and Luffy, or Shanks is gonna be like, man, Luffy's like, man, I started this journey because of Shanks. Shanks is gonna be like, bro, you have no idea what you've saved me from, what you freed me from. When he said he was betting his arm in the next generation, that's what he was talking about. Oh, I feel so good for a theory of that magnitude to be confirmed. Oh, not only do we see Shanks in a chapter, but it's also that, y'all. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. It's just an arm since chapter 1, Dino Kirby. Since chapter 1. It's been quite a while since we've shared a bath. How long's it been? 3, maybe 4 years? Get real. It's been 10 years since the captain died. That long, huh? They must have felt like forever ago to you. Yeah, life's completely changed. Flippin' Shanks, already rocking the scars. I honestly just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. But still, Elbaf, there are some things I'd like to know. Man, bro, when we really start digging into Shanks and his character, you already know that's gonna be like a top tier cook fest, man. I mean, just look at this. I honestly just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy. But there's always a but with this dude, bro. Always a but. Always a but. Understandable. You were a child of destiny. You were a child of destiny. But let's not dwell on tricky topics today, Shanks. Chat, hello? You were a child of destiny? Wait, what? What do you mean? So somebody just brought up in chat that time is different. This confirms that time is different on Elbaf? It's been quite... So let me read this again. It's been quite a while since we've shared a bath. How long's it been? Maybe 3, 4 years? And Shanks says, get real. It's been 10 years since the captain died. I took that as him just being old and forgetting. Is it truly talking about this? Is it truly talking about that? That long, huh? That must feel like forever ago to you. But let's go back to this. Understandable, you were a child of destiny, but this chapter just keeps getting... What is... There's so much information. You were a child of destiny, but let's not dwell on tricky topics today, Shanks. Say, remember Little Garden? The island where we met Dory and Brogy? Of course. Ripley's, believe it or not! She scared the flag nerds out of Shanks. Hot enough, Yasan? Shankun? Whoa, you scared me, Shankun? Bah! It's great. Thanks, Ripley. This spot really is the best. Bro, Ripley with Colin, man. So this is what a human giant household is like. Have some lingam berry tart and help yourself to drinks. Shankun, got any juicy old stories about Yasan? About Gyaban-san? Well, I've got one. Anytime we made it to a port, there were who knows how many. This man's going, yeah. You brat, you want to make it out of this country alive, you'll zip it. He's like, bro, don't tell her that. Do you know Harold? He's the king of Elbaf. The people think of him like a god. Yeah, I met him at Marijoa. He met him where? What the flip, bro? Do you know Harold? He's the king of Elbaf. The people think of him like a god. Yeah! I met him at Muddy Jaw. Casually. We got along all right. He met him at Muddy Jaw. So, if that's the case, how long was Shanks up there with them? Because he had to have been conscious when he met him. So after the Roger situation, Like we were talking about back when all this stuff started blossoming. Did he go back to his family for a little bit and then leave again to go pursue life as a pirate? Yeah, I met him at Money Joe. We got along all right. Because if they found Shanks out of the chest, Roger stayed with Shanks from the moment he came out of the chest until he was conscious and traveled with them for all that time. So, excuse me, after Roger died, and when he met Buggy in chapter, what was that, 10? In the Egghead, when the Buggy chapter. And on that page, from the Shanks moment, or I'm sorry, from Roger dying to him meeting Buggy again, maybe that was the first time he went back to the Mighty Joa? Or maybe he went back to the Mighty Joa multiple times after that. Man, dude, my mind is cooking, bro. It's cooked. I mean, not cooking. I'm cooked. I'm cooked. We couldn't speak freely. Oh my God, it's continuing. We couldn't speak freely in the Holy Land. But now that we're both in this country, I really want to talk to him. Before it's too late. That day, the massacre at the castle took place, and Eldaf's most beloved king, Harold, the Benevolent, lost his life. It's the narrator. What's this? Let us out. Who closed the gate? Help! Help! Elder Jarl! Was that when Elder Jarl got stabbed? This is the forbidden devil fruit passed down within Eldaf? But just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? What the flip are they talking about? But just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? The forbidden fruit. I'm starting to lose my mind. I'm starting to lose my mind. Bro, yes, Quag 2. I feel like I'm starting the beginning of an Ace Attorney case. I'm hearing the music and all. Miles Edgeworth. The chain breaks. The fruit is inside of the chest. Classic pirate style. This is the forbidden fruit passed down within Eldaf. But just how did this man come to be so highly regarded by his people? And that's the end of the chapter. Oh, that's not the end of the chapter. A long, long time ago. What the Flagnards? A long, long time ago. And there's a big behind ship. 109 years before the present day. If you asked anyone what the scariest thing on the sea is, the answer would always be the same. Wait, bro. 109 years before the present day. If you asked anyone what the scariest thing on the sea is, the answer would always be the same. The giant warrior pirates. That was how things were in that era. In that age, even ships from the land of the giants. It's a giant ship. Evoked immense fear due to Eldaf's reputation. I heard there's a beautiful princess in your castle. Let's have a peek. There's someone being covered by a flipping narration box, bro. Wah! He was one of the reasons for said reputation. In that age, even ships from the land of the giants evoked immense fear due to Eldaf's reputation. I heard there's a beautiful princess in your castle. Let's have a peek. He was one of the reasons for said reputation. Who in the flying Flagnards is that? He's got the Loki horns! Whoops, my foot slipped. Your Majesty, please stop. That's Harold? Your Majesty, please stop this. King Harold, oh my god. King Harold of Warland Elbaf. It's a Harold flashback? Before the Loki flashback? So that's what they said, but just how did this man couldn't be so regarded by his people? Harold began his reign at 45 years of age, just 15 in human terms. Despite this, King Harold, remarkably enough, but go on, tell me who your god is. Dang, Harold was pure scum. So how did they come to love him? How did he change? Oh, this is going to be a peak flashback, and that's the end of the chapter. Bro, this chapter, I'd have it just out of pure information, pure, like, insanity. It's, I mean, we're talking the mural, Emu showing up, the first chapter, when it showed, like, the tree and Loki, and then this chapter. Best chapters in Elbaf so far, man. Oh, and Robin and Saul, obviously. That's without question in my top 5. Man. Harold, y'all. Pure scum. Dude, no break, Ali G. So, we went from a flashback to another flashback. We went from the Loki flashback to another flashback. So we're getting the King Harold flashback, and then we're going to get the Loki flashback. So what I'm assuming is, Oda may very well structure this flashback like he did the Kuma and Bonnie flashback, where it'll be like The Godfather, right? Where we see the journey of the parent and the journey of the child, similar to the Kuma flashback. So what we might have is we start off with Harold. We see how Harold became to be known as a king that was well regarded by his people. Eventually, Loki's birth, and all of that continued down, right? And so then we'll switch over to Loki. We'll have Loki and Harold in parallel with each other, leading into that fateful day. And so when the events of that fateful day happen, we're going to be like, man, we know it's happening. We can't stop it, and it's going to hurt that much more, right? Like Harold and Loki and everything that happened there, everything that led to that moment. I could see it happening, man. The Harold and Loki flashback. Who would have thought? We all thought we were just going to get the Loki flashback. We're getting the Harold and Loki flashback, potentially. Yeah, for sure. Loki's for sure his father's son. Yeah, exactly, Akashman. End of Harold's reign to the beginning. Yeah, the beginning after the end. Seriously, the Book of Eli. Man, let's get into some supers, bro. Let's get into some supers, man. I can't wait to see what y'all are thinking about this chapter. This chapter was nuts. There's so much to unpack. But above everything, the Shanks thing, it might be real, bro. It is. It's confirmed. He had the mark on his left arm. The arm that was taken by the Sea King. God, bro, what is that fruit? It's like we have to unravel the mystery of the true culprit, like Quackju was talking about, bro. We've got to put the pieces together. Man. So, in this flashback, in the Herald flashback, we're going to see Shanks. We're going to see Harold meeting Shanks. And we're going to find out about what was happening with Shanks and his family in that particular time period. That's going to be game changing. We're going to see flipping Loki and Rox, bro. We're going to get the Rox reveal in this flashback. Oh. And the crazy thing is, when we get out of this flashback, it's going to be Emu versus the Straw Hats and Loki, bro. I can't even say that anymore. It's the Straw Hats because Loki's a Straw Hat, you know what I mean? Oh, man, dude. Okay, let me start reading some supers, man. Let me start reading some supers, man. Yo, real talk, this flashback, I've said this so many times, because the Odin flashback became my favorite, then the Kuma flashback became my favorite. If Oda gives me another, like, goated flashback after giving my two favorites back to back, oh man. Josh Pointer comes in with a 2 and says, Zoro's, that's a crazy line, bro. Let me read this carefully. Zoro's COC has been leaking like crazy. That's a crazy statement, Josh Pointer, man. That is a crazy statement. Zoro's COC has been leaking like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Josh Pointer, you're nuts. You're nuts, alright? You're nuts. Yeah, that's a good point, Subra. That is a good point. That event, because now that you bring up the Loki proposing to Lola and getting rejected, we're gonna have to see that as well. We're gonna have to get payoff to that. I thought Sanji was the COC king. Gosh Panda comes in with a 5. Thank you, Josh Pointer, on a serious note. And it says, in Japanese, Gaban told Luffy, you're not the only one who can use Conqueror's coding, or Conqueror's hockey. There can be 2 Conqueror's users. He told Sanji something off screen. Sanji might have Conquerors. And that's exactly what I believe was implied in that sequence, Akash Panda. When it goes into silence, you just see Sanji. It feels like that's where we're headed, man. It feels like that's where we're headed. The Chamber of Commerce. But it feels like that's where we're headed. And I'm right there for it, man. I'm right there for it. Especially if Loki's joining, forget it, bro. We need as much as we can. Look at Emu. Emu's turning people into Emu soldiers. You know? Like, we need a massive army, man. A massive army. And we need some goats. Thank you, Akash Panda, who then follows that up with a 2 and says, Coach, this boy's recruiting players mid-game. Mid-game! Breaking the laws of the league. Of tampering. He's like, yo, man, join my crew. We gotta go take care of business. You know, we gotta do our thing, man. He's like, yo, you gotta join me in the squad back home. You know, Loki's like, man, when the contract is up and I'm a free agent, I'm coming. You know, he's like, I'm coming. We're gonna sign that max, the super max. Shout out to Luffy on a serious note. The real deal gave me goosebumps. Real deal gave me goosebumps. It reminded me so much of when Luffy asked Brook to join, or any of like the Straw Hats, to join out of nowhere, and it reminded me of that, man. Just straight chills, straight chills. He's recruiting players mid-game, Akash Panda. Morgan, thank you, Akash Panda. Morgan Irving comes in with a 5 and says, Roger's crew had how many Wakonkers? I'm going to be more disappointed if Sanji doesn't. Celebrate like I did with Zoro thinking, or Rayleigh. 100% would celebrate for that as well. How many in Roger's crew had Conkers? Now, I'm talking about at the time, right? Because some of the individuals would gain it later, like Shanks. And I'm sure Buggy's got it as well, so I'll add Buggy to that. But I wonder who... Oh, and Odin. Odin also has it. But Odin was only there for the end of the journey. But it still counts, I suppose. I suppose it still counts. So how many is that? Like, all time, I guess it would be, so far from what we know, is that 6? Gabon was clearly talking about Nami. I mean, Nami clearly has Conqueror's coding. There's no doubt. Roger, Ridley, Gabon, Shanks, and Odin. And Buggy. Gotta have Buggy. Gosh, man, we got 6. we got 6. I'm telling you, bro, Buggy's gonna be rocking that junk. End of series. There's no doubt in my mind. There is no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. And Bullet, yeah, true that. So Bullet, that would be 7. That would be 7. Yo, what's good, Yoshi? Usopp is also getting conquers. Let's get it. Will this flashback finally answer what's above in the heaven realm? That's a great question. I think we might save that for what happens after this chapter. We might save that for what happens after this chapter. I'm sorry, not after this chapter. After this flashback ends. After, like, the Emu situation. But it very well could. Depends on how long Oda wants this arc to go for. Then Vex, of course, coming with the 5 memberships. Appreciate you so much for that, Vex, once again. For gifting 5 over to the channel. Akash Panda comes in with a 2. It says, one day, Emu summoned Shanks and a Sea King appeared. One day. Emu summoned Shanks and a Sea King appeared. And that Sea King took care of business now. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to one of the biggest Shanks fanboys of all time. But the Sea King caught the dub on that day. The Sea King caught the dub on that day. Even though it was clearly part of Shanks' parlay to put over Luffy that day. But on a serious thing, no doubt about that. No doubt about that, Akash Panda. Well, then follows that up with the 5. Says Gabon thought Shanks was going to be Troy Boy. So now we can have this conversation. Let me go back to what that said there in the end. Life's completely changed. I honestly just wanted to be a carefree pirate with Buggy, but still, Elbaf, there are some things I'd like to know. Understandable, you were a child of destiny. But let's not dwell on tricky topics today, Shanks. Gabon thought Shanks was going to be Joy Boy. Roger thought it was going to be Ace. No one had Luffy on their lists. Luffy's ruining people's plans since day 1. Straight up, bro. That's a great point, actually, Akash Panda. That's a fantastic point. Like, Gabon was like, yo, Shanks. Then you had Roger be like, yeah, it's gonna be my son. And Luffy's like, yeah, I'm ruining everyone's plans. I've been from jump, even before he was born. Before he was born, he was out here ruining people's plans. You gotta love my king. You gotta love the king, man. You gotta love him. You gotta love him. The mark of the abyss out of a Sea King's stomach for a real ring. Oh, man. Then Akash Panda follows it up and says, with the 5, it says, has a 2 similar to the Holy Knight's armbands. Was hanging on in Marijoa. Has no straw hat anywhere. Snitching on Gabon. Shanks really is a rat. We're still pushing the Shanks rat agenda? Listen. Snitching on Gabon is crazy. No straw hat anywhere is insane. And there's no straw in the Marijoa. Yo, man. Rat Shanks. Yo, man. Listen. We put an end to that agenda in chapter 1. In chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? The Rat King ceased to exist after chapter 1. That's all I know. That's all I know. I appreciate you on a serious note, Akash Panda. Thank you so much for the supers. Ian comes with a 5, says, all I'm saying is young Harold kind of looks like Kaido. Elbaf greatness, bro. Number 1, young Harold looking like Kaido is nuts. Let me actually look at him again. Yo. He definitely reminds me of someone. Like with the facial expression, outside of Loki, obviously. Really reminds me of someone. I just can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on it. The rat agenda's back on the table. But listen, Ian. All I know is that we're as we need to bring the anything that brings Kaido back into our as a focal point again. It makes my day. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be good with that. I'll be good with that. Thank you, Ian. On a serious note, I appreciate you. Elbaf greatness, absolutely. And then Jacob Davy comes in with a 5. Says Vegas in shambles. The over didn't hit. King H was reversing. I forgot about the over under, bro. I was so immersed. I was so immersed in the chapter. I forgot about the over under. Hey, but we went with the 2. We got the 2, man. So everybody who voted for 2, they hit it. They hit the parlay. Loki kills him to protect Elbaf's memory of him because a man dies when he is forgotten. Oh, great line. King Harold was reversing. Loki kills him to protect Elbaf's memory of him because a man dies when he is forgotten. You're absolutely right. Right. So, everyone there was reversing. This is going to be so tragic, man. What about that legendary fruit thing? Plutonium. Thank you, Jacob Dabby. Beautiful comment. My boy Pluto comes members for 27 months. Shout out to the 2 years. And says rooting for arm theory could help Shanks' backstory. You know, what this confirms is that Shanks' backstory ends on chapter 1. What I think's gonna happen, y'all, is when we get Shanks' full backstory, the backstory ends on chapter 1. Where we see it from his perspective and we get his internal monologue at that moment. And it's going to be really emotional. Because we're going to see when he pops out of the thingy, we're going to get some more with Roger, obviously. We're going to see some stuff with the Marijoa. But we're going to see his internal conflict and how he's dealt with that for so many years. And then when he's freed from it, at the end of his flashback, it's going to hit. But you know what this tells me too? Is that I think in his heart, he owes Luffy. In his heart. He's like, yo, Luffy saved me that day. So I wonder how that's going to play into the final parts of the series. Obviously, I just don't know. I don't know. Do y'all really think it could be the Nika fruit? Like the Nika fruit was... Oh my gosh! Bro, what about if it is the Nika fruit? Because if it is, remember when this arc started? We were talking about, what about if Loki has the true Gomu Gomu no Mi? The actual Gomu Gomu no Mi, and Luffy's rocking the Nika fruit. So, I wonder, man. I wonder. Bro, what about if that line of Luffy saying, I can't wait to see Loki fight, And he sees Loki stretch. The timeline matches up exactly, Robert. He's based on the trickster god after all. So you're saying that he may not actually have our fruit at all? So Morgan Irvin, what I'm thinking of is if the Nika fruit was with Who's Who, and them potentially getting it from Elbaf, may mean that the WG may have secured it from Elbaf. And en route, oh man, this actually connects. If Who's Who transporting the fruit over back potentially to the Marijoa, Shanks, who was here, gets word of it, goes over, collects the fruit, I just don't know if the time... I don't know if the time matches up, timeline-wise. Loki might not have a fruit, he might just have been framed. Oh, yeah, gosh, man, that most certainly... That might be where we're heading with this. Yeah, the fake replacement fruit. Exactly, James Fish music. But what I'm saying is, so in this chapter, we obviously saw some ideas about not only just the WG, but siding with the WG. Clearly, the Holy Knights were here on this day. Emu was here on this day, right? So if that's the case, something happens in an attempt to get the fruit, they grab it, they frame Loki, they go to take it back with them. They finally secured the Nika fruit, take it with them on a ship. On the transport ship, maybe it connects over to Who's Who. Who's Who grabs it from that ship to go transport it back over to the Holy Land, or whatever the case may be. And en route, runs into Shanks. The problem with that is where the flashback takes place. The time doesn't fit, right? Because Shanks obviously... Yeah, Luffy, oh my god, he was 7 years old. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, he was 7 years old. He was 7 years old. Oh my god, I think the time actually does right up. Mr. Rubis comes from the 5 and says the only thing about it being the Nika fruit is that it would mean Shanks knew Loki didn't actually steal it, which implies he just let Loki stay locked up. That's a great point as well. That's a fantastic point, Mr. Rubix. Yeah, that's true. If Shanks, hypothetically speaking, if he did know, then why would he keep him locked up? There's something more to it, man. I don't think it was the Nika fruit. The Gordosei said it has been evading them for centuries, but Elbaf's fruit has been in one location. And that's also a good point. That's also a good point. So now I just have to wonder, if it's not that, and this is an island of gods, and what they consider to be that, then what is of the same magnitude inside of the One Piece verse as the Nika fruit? Shanks still a rat theory lives. Hey, shout out to my boy Adrian, man. He says, if this was 14 years ago and Guinea was taken 14 years ago, holy flagnards. If this was 14 years ago and Guinea was taken 14 years ago, does this mean Shanks might have interacted with her at Marijoa? So yeah, assuming if Shamrock, as we've been speculating for all this time, truly is Bonnie's father, and like Akash Panda says, if Shanks was invited back to the Marijoa to go to Shamrock's quote-unquote wedding, does that mean that maybe Shanks was the one who freed Guinea and allowed Guinea to be able to go back? Does that mean that Shanks, when he met King Harold there on that day, then maybe that was the moment when he freed Guinea and allowed her to be able to go back with Bonnie? Dang, that's a good point, bro. Guinea escaped 12 years ago? So it was 12 years ago. Man, dude. Yo, shout out to Muddy. Comes with the 5 says, Gokon, can my spirit story assistant Maya Kiro send you last messages on her Twitter? Super chat's expensive, and my super thanks are on the One Piece Switch 2 videos. Oh, absolutely, yo. Yeah, definitely send me the messages on Twitter. No problem. Appreciate you for sending out in super, man. You don't have to do that. And I'll definitely read the ones on the Switch 2 videos. I apologize. I haven't read any comments since I'm playing Xenoblade. That's my bad. That's my bad. I'll definitely read it, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, that is true. Guinea getting kicked out of because of the disease. Yeah, and Bonnie is only 12, like Morgan Irvin is bringing up. Oh yeah, the Fisher Tiger situation as well. Man, there could be a lot of different connections that we get whenever we visit the Holy Land. Theory, those who abandon their friends are worse than scum. Rox abandoned his friends at the end. Harold idolized him and taught Loki this loneliness of strength. And Loki later changed with friends. Interesting, Brandon King. So you believe that Rox abandoned his friends in the end, and Harold idolized him and taught Loki about the loneliness of his strength. And of course, now we're going to see how Loki changed because of that. It's a great point, Mr. Rubix, who comes in curious if people are still thinking Harold betrayed Elbaf by joining with the WG. Schefter basically confirmed for me that he had a plan to get one over on the WG and turn the Giants into pacifists, going against the WG agenda more than helps him. Shen's implying that Harold couldn't speak freely, might Joe also supports this. That's a great point. And a good call. I'm still thinking about your comment, Brandon King. Like, the bringing it all back to rocks is so fascinating. Because we know how much Loki looked up to him, but if Harold also did, then that's going to be at the absolute core of this entire situation. Yo, Mist, what's good, yo? Peak chapter, Zorogas, Mihawk upscale, Loki joining the crew, and the peak flashback with Shanks. Like, yeah, it was a great chapter, man. Great chapter. B Mighty comes in with a 2 super chat. Says God wrote all here with theological determinism. Yo, that's a theological determinism, yo. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that. Why is Loki's hammer different? Did he have it eat the legendary fruit? That's a good call. It very well could have either eaten the fruit or eaten a fruit, right? Because you're right, it definitely does look different. Coach, I think it would actually be more interesting if Harold commanded his soldiers to kill him. It would make sense if Emu considered Harold to have blundered. Ah, that would be very tragic, Josh Pointer. Harold commands his soldiers to take him out within that moment so that no one else would have to. And that was the blunder. I think both Harold and Loki will break free of this ideology, and we'll see why. But the idea was to bring some Naruto greatness into this, with Harold being called scum. No, I got you. With like the whole Kakashi thing about friends being, or those who've been in their friends being worse than scum idea. Oh, for sure, Mr. Rubix, absolutely. Yo, Quag2, no worries, yo. No worries. I truly appreciate you. Hey, and stay safe. Stay safe. It's been storming a lot down in this part of the country. And so I live under Georgia. So I know it's been storming like crazy in Florida the past couple of flipping days. And so I can't even imagine how Georgia must have been. So just stay safe over there, take it easy, and try not to get caught in a crazy behind storm. But I appreciate you, Quack, too. Thank you so much for stopping by, even with having to get up early. That's right, Akash, man. Never too late. Never too late. Listen, I will definitely check it out eventually. There's no doubt. But right now, the Xenoblade greatness has me too locked in. The Xenoblade greatness has me too locked in, yo. Too locked in. Blue Box hit its 200 chapter this week. Oh, man. I definitely got to get on that as well. I haven't read a Blue Box chapter the last couple of weeks. I'm behind on both that and my beloved Akane Banashi. I'm behind a few chapters. I'm never behind on that. But it's not my fault, man. It's Tetsuya Takahashi's fault. Tetsuya Saul says, any theories about what the deal is with Loki having his eyes covered? They were still covered 14 years ago, and even in the brief glimpse we got of him as a kid. Yeah, that's a great point. It reminds me of the Doflamingo situation, right? Like, why would they have their eyes covered? And I honestly don't know. In the case of Loki, it's so in your face that you just wonder, right? I'm going to assume there's circumstances around his birth. That could even be parallels to Luffy's birth, with the circumstances around his birth being one of the major mysteries that surround the series up until this point, right? With Luffy's mother and Dragon and potential motivations there. Maybe the circumstances around Loki's birth, that's going to be like one of the core pieces of this flashback that we might get answers to there. That is a great question, Tetsuya Saul. Does the Straw Hat symbolize a destined child of the era? Ooh. That's interesting. That would answer the you were the destined child thing. But he didn't give up the Straw Hat yet. In that moment. Appreciate your comment, Bandit. Oh, the Pacers won? Game 7, baby. Yeah, true that, Jay Stark. True that. It could be Rox is the one who humbled Harold. True that, Sage. As a matter of fact, that not since we already know for sure Rox has arrived, and Loki saw greatness in Rox that made him idolize him, right? Truly look up to him. It may very well involve his pops, as Rox being the one who humbled him. I could see that. Yo, OMG, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. How'd you like the chapter? That would be cool, Tetsuya Saul. That would be cool. Gotcha, test account, yeah. Loki will have lied to the village and create the Usopp parallel we've all been waiting for. Oh my god. We need that, yes! Loki's lie that is finally going to be uncovered, right? And that lie that they've all been... He's been the villain to them for all of these years, bro. What an awesome character. You got me wanting to start Xenoblade whenever I cop a Switch. I already know it's peak with how much you gas in it. It's like I always say when I recommend anything, right? I never know how it's going to hit with people. I can only speak on my behalf because what I think is cool is just what I think is cool. But by the sweet mother of Flagnards, I have been loving this series so much, man. So much. So unbelievably much, man. So now, let me talk about these two comments right here. So J1 says, wonder why Shanks' arm didn't regenerate. Mr. Rubik says, any thoughts on the tattoo on Shanks' now missing arm? So obviously we were talking about that with like the connection that's going to have to the end of Shanks' flashback, with that being the reason why the Mark of the Abyss was taken out there and being freed by Luffy in that moment, and how beautiful it's going to be when we get to the flashback, right? But why it didn't regenerate fascinates me. Because that could lead into what the answer to all of this is going to end up being once we get out of the flashback is that it may not just have to be with Conquerors, and it could very well have to do with the Mark. Because the Mark of the Abyss that allows them to travel from location to location may also be how they're able to endlessly regenerate. And once you cut off that thing, like blood circulation, right? If you're not able to circulate your blood back to the heart, you're not going to be able to live much longer. At the very least, that body part or that piece is going to cease to function. Very same way, if you cut off access to the Mark, or to what the Mark leads to, that may very well be how you stop regeneration. And so, I wonder if the Shanks thing with him getting his arm eaten and not regenerating after that, like, that very well be that might be how you sever the contract, quote unquote, so to speak. Lord of the Coast having advanced conquerors. Straight up. Straight up. Chapter's awesome. Been feeling down, but I got more will to live. One Piece flashbacks are peak. We'd love to see it, OMG. Hope you feel better. Definitely hope you feel better. But yeah, the One Piece flashbacks are the absolute best. Absolute best. Was Rocks and Elbaf for the Devil Fruit? That's a good call, Akash Panda. I'm gonna say yes. If he was a true pirate looking out, I'm gonna say Akash Panda for a few reasons. Number one, for the fruit, but number two, seeking out forbidden knowledge. He had to have seen the mural. Rocks had to have seen the mural, he had to have read the holy texts, and then went out and decided to go continue to seek in God Valley and things of that nature, trying to satiate his thirst for knowledge, right? Absolutely, bro. Peak fiction, man. Straight up, test account. Shanks to Gabon says, Subra, there are things I can't talk about in the Holy Land. That's why I returned to this country to meet with you and tell you something before it's too late. Translation error. Ooh, okay. So we may have to wait on Viz to properly gauge that line. I believe sea beasts can harm the Holy Knights. And do you think that has to do with the regeneration thing, Snoop? So now that you bring that up, Snoop, is there a connection with the sea devil fruits, how they regenerate after a certain amount of time in another location, and how the Holy Knights are able to regenerate? Because the way you stop devil fruits is by putting them in water. So does that imply there's going to be something similar with the Holy Knights? I'm not saying you're going to throw water on them and they cease to regenerate, but there is going to be something there, right? Shanks gave up his darkness for the new era, and that's what Elbaf is kind of doing in a way. Brandon King, yes. Thematically and literally what's happening within the modern day course of the series. Yeah, is it because of the sea beast? I mean, just like what was brought up by Snoop. If that truly is the case, Gustav, then what does that imply for the rest of the things? OMG comes in with a 39 months, dog. A long time. Appreciate you, OMG. Maybe it didn't regenerate because he's in water. Oh, snap, we were just talking about this. So if that's the case, OMG, then there might be a connection between fruits and this whole Holy Knight regeneration thing. And if that's the case, it's still a pirate manga. And I'm so down for that. Finally played Expedition 33. Finally played and finished Expedition 33, bro. Peak gaming, top 5 game of all time for me. Versatile, the GOAT. Yo, missed, man. Expedition 33. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. I'm so glad you enjoyed it as well. Shout out to my boy Verso. Shout out to Big Verso. And it's actually crazy. That is what made me start Xenoblade Mist. It's because After finishing Expedition 33, like I was telling AJ, I was trying to find something to fill the hole, and I kept seeing people say, if you like Expedition 33, you'll like Xenoblade. And like I said, I was already going through Xeno Saga, but at that moment I put a pause to that, and I was like, all right, let's play through the Blade games. And boy, so I might have to recommend you the same thing, same thing I was recommended. But on a serious note, what a special game, Expedition 33. What a special game. Shout out Expedition 33. Do you think Zoro and Luffy debate on Shanks versus Mihawk? That would be awesome. That would be awesome. If they do, we need that on screen. I need that on screen. Could you imagine them having the same conversation? But it's called the world's strongest swordsman. Luffy's like, I don't give a flying flatners, he's Shanks. You know? It's like it goes through the same thing that we do in the community. It's like, is it title? Is it portrayal? Is it, you know? That would be great. I would love to see that. I really would. That's not Quest Castle. It is All Rust Castle. So was that a mistranslation? My question is, how did Harold get to the Holy Land? He's huge. Well, Josh Pointer, that might answer the question as to how we might get Loki on the ship. If Harold was able to potentially control his size, then there might be how we get Loki on the ship. You know what I'm saying? No, Josh Pointer, that's exactly what I've been thinking. If Conqueror's Hawk is the only way, then how are like the rest of the Straw Hats going to do any damage? There has to be another way for us to stop the regeneration. Have a good night, Morgan Irvin. Appreciate you. Thanks so much for the conversation. Yeah, exactly. Like Tetsuya Saul saying, I don't think it's going to be the only way to harm them. It might be the way that we first learn how to do it, and then we'll find out another way. Verso top one, Mael top one. Both great takes. Both great takes. Love both characters. Make a skit out of it. That'd be awesome. Are we going towards all strides getting conquerors? I don't think so. I don't think so. Ooh, oh yeah, definitely keep me updated on Kainoki Seki, brother. Definitely keep me updated on that. Imagine Shanks sees Luffy and Zoro debating Shanks and Mihawk, and he introduces himself by bonking them, fan letter style. Yo, for real, right? That would be awesome. It's always a spellbinding circle, ladies and mofos. That might be a way that we could potentially like interrupt the regeneration. Maybe it has something to do with that too. Yeah. Very well could be the case, Snoop. Very well could be the case. Because we were discussing in the Emu chapter streams, you know, shout out to Laconis and everybody else who brought up the Domi Reversi. As like a board game, and how Emu may have a fruit based on games and or that particular board game out of that book, right? Because I'm assuming that book has like access to a bunch of different fruits. So that still more than likely is a fruit ability. No, most definitely Tetsuya Saw. Now Shanks' backstory continues to be, with each passing chapter, going to be one of the things that I'm more and more excited to see as the series progresses. Gabon or Lilith. Straight up. Gabon knows so many things, right? Specifically Rio. Like the type of hockey that damages them from the inside. I'm going to assume it have to be something, obviously, not the same as Rio. But it's going to have to do something like that, right? Where it penetrates not just the exterior of when you're doing the damage, but it's also causing internal damage as well. The same way that Luffy, whenever he was fighting Kaido, and will like hit him with Rio Haki, and it's like he's hitting him, but it's more about what it's causing internally instead. Yeah, for real, bravery. Luffy's the best. Luffy's the best. Luffy will tie hockey knots with the straws to use to beat the Holy Knights. Let's flip and go, Akash fan. The more hockey knots, the better. The more hockey knots in the series, the better. Just had an idea, says Scholar Rogers. Did Rogers send Shanks to the Holy Land to spy on Emu/the Holy Knights? I don't think Roger would do that because he probably knows about Shanks' past in terms of him being a Holy Knight, considering he probably got him on God Valley. So I don't think he would send him back to his family like that. Because I just don't think Roger's that kind of guy. But that most certainly is a super cool idea. A spy mission. I did not see Mystical's entrance, Winston. I didn't. Bro, like I said, I've been so caught up on Xenoblade. I haven't seen anything. So I gotta watch that, man. How was that show, by the way? How was the show? Hawaii is Laugh Tale. Nah, that's like another chapter is crazy, bro. What game are you playing after Xenoblade? Because you need another game to fill that void. Thankfully, I don't have to think about that for a while, Josh Pointer. Thankfully, I won't have to think about that for a little while. But I actually have no idea. I legit have no idea. The only thing I can hope for is that when I finish the Xenoblade trilogy, I know Death Stranding will be out by then because that comes out next week. So I can hop into that. Metal Gear Solid 3, the remake, comes out in August. The Trails remake comes out in September. So there's like new games that I'll be able to hop into, but I don't know what's gonna fill the void, man. I have no idea. But I don't want to even think about that. Florida's Ruskina. Yeah, like a frequency disruption, exactly, lazy mofos. Yeah, that's a perfect way of looking at it. A frequency disruption is exactly what we would need in order to take out this regeneration thing. Harold feels like was part of the Holy Knights and obviously was taken out by them and Emu for some reason. Could be for the Nika fruit, if not deeper. Yo, Harold being a part of the Holy Knights would be crazy. Never even thought about such a possibility. Here we can. I just finished Act 1 of 33 and I'm shook, Coach. The ending of Act 1 of that game is nuts, RH. Nuts. So shook. Flashback's actually going to reveal so much lore. No, definitely Silver Shot. It's going to reveal a lot. Like, a lot. I don't know what I'm more excited for. I have 3 things, right? I got the flashback that we're currently in right now. Then when we get back, we're going to have the Straw Hats with Loki going up against Emu in the squad. And then there's still what's going on in the flipping Holy Land. It's just nuts, man. It is Final Saga Oda. Shanks flashback going to be insane. I can't wait for that Shanks flashback. DK Bonanza looks insane. You know, Ronnie, I still haven't seen the direct for that, yo. I gotta watch it. We're gonna be eating with this flashback. We're really gonna be eating with this flashback, OMG. Like I was talking about earlier, we're going to see so much from both the Herald point of view and the Loki point of view that it's just gonna be such a dense, like this chapter, a dense and emotional, lore-packed character reveals, things that we've wanted to see all packed in this flashback. It was a fun show. The crowd was lit and the atmosphere is great. Arena Mexico is top 5 pro wrestling venue. Oh man, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Whatever Roger told Shanks before he died, when we finally hear it, it's going to hit so hard. But I agree, Roger probably wouldn't want Shanks to do anything to wrestle. You feel me? But I agree. Whenever we hear that from Shanks' perspective, it's definitely going to hit so hard. Whatever it is that he told him. A flashback and a flashback, Winston. Oh, Usopp will definitely get his thing. No doubt. Usopp's definitely going to get something nice. Do you think Shanks took the Nika Nika no Mi for himself as he was a Destiny child? Transition error, it's not were, it's you are it. Oh, you are a Destiny child. Number 1, shout out to Destiny's Child. But number 2, that changes things. You are a Destiny child. That implies a few things. What? This man's blowing my mind, dude. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch it. Flashback over under 5 chapters? I'm going to go over. I'm going over 5 chapters, Jim, because I think we're going to get the Herald flashback and the Loki flashback. Similar to how we had like the Kuma and Bonnie flashback in 1. I think we're going to get the Herald and Loki flashback together. Unless they separate them throughout the course of the arc. But I think it's going to be together. Imu will be the villain of this flashback, just like how Saturn was in Kuma's flashback. And will carry that momentum right into the Imu battle. For some reason, I just had crazy deja vu reading that comment. I don't know why I got it, Panda. Parallel Universe Recon was ahead of the game there. But you're absolutely right. Because Oda's always done that throughout the course of the series. We think back to Drum Island, we think back to Saturn, we think back to multiple different points where at the end of the flashback we get the final hit, right? That puts it all together. Or the beginning of it in this particular case, right? It's going to hit so hard, Akash Panda. And I could definitely see that being the case. I love how Shanks was like, I wanted to just be with Buggy and a pirate crew. That's what he wanted. He wanted that freedom, man. He wanted that freedom. Just live life. Chapter 1 in Shanks' perspective will break me. It's going to be one of the most emotional chapters in the series for sure, Supra. Because similar to 1102, and now that we contextualized Sabard Archipelago and Thriller Bark, the Luffy and Shanks Chapter 1 Romance Dawn was starting this journey. Seeing that from Shanks' perspective and recontextualizing the beginning of the series is going to hit so hard. So unbelievably hard. I'm predicting we'll get another flashback inside this flashback. I'm down. Let's get the God Valley flashback in here too. I don't care. Let's go back even further. Let's just get the old giants in here as well in a flashback, you know? Listen, if it's Oda, I'll take flashback on flashback on flashback on flashback. All flashbacks, man. All flashbacks. Shanks to Beckman, you are no Buggy. Yo, he was like, my bad, my guy, bro. You're just not him. You're just not Buggy, bro. You're not him, man. Luffy does a power clap in episode 1072, which affects the whole environment. Could that be weaponized in order to sever the connection from Ibu? Oh, you're talking about for the frequency disruption. Utilizing sound, because I remember a few streams ago we were talking about how Bink Sake, or like a song like that, could be used to sever the connection. And that might be how Gunko gets freed from Ibu, right? Is by interrupting the frequency with music. Very well could be the case. And if that's the case, then something like that would be possible. Been throwing myself at this Lies of Peak final boss. I forgot that DLC dropped. That they shadow dropped that. I gotta play that too, man. That might be what I'll do after Xenoblade. Let's go play the Lies of P DLC. Thank you for giving me something to listen to. Absolutely, yo. Absolutely. All the way back to the voice entry. Yeah, no, that's how I feel too, Tetsuya Solid. It's gonna hit so hard. So hard. Young Jarl, for real, right? Hey, I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. Check Discord. A fun post? Oh, I got you. I definitely get you. Let me see. Let me... To tell you the truth, I wanted to live a life just being some jolly pirate with Buggy. Oh, man, it shows my boys just hanging out, bro. Come on, man. And it's like the what could have been, but then if this would have happened, Shanks wouldn't have met Luffy. We wouldn't have got the One Piece that we know, you know what I'm saying? And so, it's like, dang. Dang, man. All up to you, Muddy, bro. Just know, like I said, Money, I apologize to you and to every single other person who has sent me anything while I've been playing this flipping Xenoblade, man. It's not me, it's the game. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. Playing Lies of P right now, it's very good. Yo, Super, I loved the original game of Lies of P. I still gotta play the DLC, but I flipping loved the original Lies of P, yo. That game was awesome. Baby Jarl meaning knowing the flashback would be gas. That would be so flipping gas. Recon goes membership for 39 months, says, so excited to see a new timeline 100 years ago. Like the establishment of the timeline, Recon, from like throughout the course of the series continues to get filled out, right? It just continues to get filled out for all of the greatness. And now 100 years ago in particular is going to get filled out thanks to this flashback. Oh yeah, no doubt, Super. What? Shanks and Buggy? I mean, technically now he has Mihawk, right? So it's like we could have the Shanks Mihawk, Shanks and Buggy on the Cross Guild, or it was going to be Mihawk and Buggy. So we ended up in the Mihawk and Buggy timeline. So it's like, yeah, now we're going to fill out that particular part of history, Recon, for sure. Thank you for membership, yo. Oh, first playthrough, Super. Gotcha. Absolutely. The Louis Arno timeline? Yo, bro, yeah. Seriously. Oh, we still have that to explore as well, man. Yeah, we might see Louis Arno in this flashback. Facts. Facts. So there's so many things in this arc, you forget how many things we still have to explore. 100 years ago, Kureha was alive. Kureha! Yeah, I was talking about this with, I was talking about that with Dak. I forgot about Kureha, yo. It's a great point. That's a great point. Yo, peace, Super. Have a good one. Yeah. So now, Kureha, and then we can bring up the possibility of Rocks being born 100 years ago. Fascinates me, both of those ideas. Because we're going to be able to potentially explore more stuff from both. I mean, Rocks for sure is happening when we get to the Loki stuff. Maybe even before that with the Herald stuff. But Kureha, for some reason, slipped my mind. That's so true. That's a great point. Hopefully we do see Kureha. Anna Brooke, yeah. Mosa, Brooke. Ooh, yes. The Gunko side of things, all of that could be wrapped up in this, man. This flashback can get deep. Really deep. 32-year-old Correa is a couple years older than Robin, right? Yeah, Correa's probably gonna have like a super, super, super sick design. Super sick design. Just knowing how Oda usually does it. You look at Gloriosa, right? Gloriosa looks amazing in the Rocks flashback, or in the God Valley flashback. We real deal might see Correa, yeah. And like y'all just brought up, not just Correa, maybe a potential Brooks sighting with the Gunko thing, um, and for sure Rocks. Rocks is happening. Exactly like Frank in the Odin flashback. Man. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been 2.5 hours. My throat is gone. Not just because of One Piece, but because I've been yelling at Xenoblade as well over the past couple of days. And so, I don't know if I can talk anymore. I'm sure y'all hear it in my voice. It's starting to crack. Um, but number one, I just want to thank y'all so much for being here. I know it was NBA Finals night. And during the NBA Finals, like I said, people's attention may be able to and like I said, I would never blame y'all for choosing to watch something of that magnitude over this. But for y'all who were here, we had like 400 people in here talking about some One Piece, and so I really do appreciate y'all for being here tonight and for putting up with me during this time. Immediately when I turn the stream off, I'm gonna go to use the restroom, come back, and I'm hopping on Xenoblade until I fall asleep with the controller in my hand. You know what I'm saying? And so just all love to y'all. Excited. I will see y'all next week for the One Piece chapter. Um, I would say that I might see y'all in between then, but like I said, I'm so hooked on this. And I know how I am. I generally don't know if there's anything else. But if you want to keep up with what I'm doing, I'm over on Twitter sharing my journey on the greatness. But just on a serious note, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Awesome, awesome chapter. Great discussion. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the anime is going to have in store, which I believe is on break this week, whenever I get back to that. And what the next chapter will have in store is now that we go in and continue the flashback. And so I will see y'all. Thank y'all so much once again for stopping by. And man, let's see what happens on Game 7 in this upcoming weekend. So much love to y'all. Throat is absolutely crashed. So I just appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. Take care. Time for me to hop on some Peak after reading some Peak.